Two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal, they're talking about movies. And you know they are really groovy. Two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal, they're talking about movies. And we know they are really groovy.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Two Guys and a Gal Talking About Movies. And today we're going to be talking about Susan Sarandon. Susan Abigail Sarandon, born in 1946 in Jackson Heights, New York. She is a award-winning actress. She won the Academy Award in 1995 for Dead Man Walking with Sean Penn, which was also written and directed by Tim Robbins, with whom she had a long-term relationship. And she started her career in television and in soap operas. She was in a couple of soap operas in the 70s. And before making the leap to the big screen with a movie called Joe, starring Peter Boyle, and then moving on to other movies like Pretty Baby, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and so forth in the 70s, and still very active today in acting, obviously. And she has 3 children, 2 with Tim Robbins, and 1 with director, excuse me, Italian director Franco Amurri. So, to talk about Susan Sarandon and her films, and to discuss, our favorites as usual, I have my co-hosts, the man of 1,001 voices, Rory Penland.
Oh, thank you so much.
And wonderful. And the lady of one voice, but a very powerful voice, Ms. Ilana Lang, who we actually get to see her this time in her avatar.
Hi. Thank you.
Love the avatar.
Yes, thank you. I think one of you or both of you created it for me. Thank you.
Manny created that.
Yeah, a little
very talented. I did not realize that if you show the background, it has a theater that has the 2 guys and a gal thing on it that you created, and the theater is the Cosmos, which I thought was really great. I never noticed that before.
Really? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's in the intro.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just the magic of AI these days. You can create these things. But yeah, Phil, I kept thinking, like, okay, we need a background. I need a background. And I thought, well, wait a minute, I already have one that I used for the intro, and we'll just throw it on here.
It looks great.
Thank you.
I look a little bit like Emma Stone, and I don't really in real life. So thank you for. I think she's very beautiful. Thank you.
Well, yeah, I glammed us.
You look marvelous.
Yeah, I thought we all needed to have that movie star glam up for our.
It's great, and the song, Diane.
Diane Cole.
I've been grooving to it. It gets me in the mood for the show every week or every other week. It's great.
Manny's AI makes me look tall and lanky, and I look like a short-haired Sam Winchester from Supernatural.
I think you both look great. I look great too. I just look.
Yeah.
Great. Actually,
I wish I had that good a hairline. My hair was that good, but yeah, that ship sailed a long time ago.
They have great toupees today.
And
then they have bad ones like Stallone's.
Yeah. So anyway, but
Hey,
yeah, I
dude.
want to give a shout out to Diane Marie Call for doing the theme
Mm-hmm.
to this show, and she also did the one for Big Monster Briefing Room,
Yes,
and just top notch musician,
that's
and
Diane Call. She lives in Atlanta, Georgia area.
Yes.
yeah.
She does
So
great themes for shows
Yes, she does.
yeah.
And
And
she's a wonderful musician.
and
and
does great albums too. Yeah, she's
that's
got
right.
several
Absolutely.
music albums out.
Yeah. So look her up. All right. But actually, we are here to talk about Susan
Susan
Sarandon and
Sarandon.
her movie. We kind of go off on a little tangent there. So, in our time honored tradition of just
You
a few
deserve
weeks
a
ago.
little pat on the back for the hard work you do on the show, and so does Diane.
Well,
Absolutely.
yeah,
So
absolutely. Well, yeah, yeah.
we're very lucky to have you and Diane to create around the show. What
Yes.
we have.
Well, thank you, thank you.
Definitely we are. Thank
Nothing
you.
wrong with it.
Yes, yeah. All right. No, you're not
Okay,
getting a
should we
raise.
start with number one?
Yes,
You're still not getting a raise, Rory.
I didn't do any of the stuff.
I don't.
I'm just here.
Me too. I don't
Uh,
even know how to do any of this stuff. I'm like in awe.
well, I have to thank Renee Yaworski for teaching me how to do this stuff. A lot of this
Oh,
stuff. Well,
Mm.
the
absolutely.
StreamYard stuff.
Yes, indeed.
And of course, we're missing Renee
Yes, we
as
love you,
always in
Renee.
all our shows, and hope she graces us with an appearance someday, maybe next year. But you never know. All right, so Alana, let's start with you. What is your number one Susan Sarandon film?
Well, we have to start with the Rocky Horror Picture Show from 1975.
That's my number one as well.
Yeah, you have to start it.
She
Absolutely.
hasn't topped that one.
The impact, she's so brave. Like, I was watching her talk about it, and she's talking about how everybody told her not to do it, and she's a comical genius. And she's like, she just, I was so impressed with the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and this is true of all of her work. She becomes the character. She
Mhm.
puts everything she has. Like, I was thinking about how I watched a movie when we did Jane Fonda, and she was supposed to be a drug addict, and it was like Jane Fonda had a lot of really great movies, but that was utterly ridiculous. Like, Susan Sarandon, she could be anybody.
Mhm.
And she makes you believe it. And this is just in 1975, right? She started her first movie that got attention was 1970, so it's not that long after. It was a stage play that turned into a movie, and her performance is absolutely incredible. And I mean, the whole movie, we're just so lucky to have it. And I wanted to give a shout out to a documentary that I saw with it, just real quick, because hiding in YouTube is a behind the music from VH1. Do you guys remember
Oh yeah.
VH1's
Uh-huh.
Behind the Music? I
Right.
loved those so much. And if you do a search, you actually can watch the Behind the Music from Rocky Horror Picture Show and hear the guy that plays the butler is the one that actually
Richard
wrote
O'Brien.
it. And
Richard
it
O'Brien.
is it was, everything was perfect about it. The whole experience of, watching it and getting into it. I did the time warp. It was wonderful.
Who doesn't love to do the time warp?
The
Mhm.
other shout out I just want to give real fast is one of the creator's sons on September 26, 2025, released his own documentary, which is supposed to be great, called Strange Journey, the story of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I could not find it yet anywhere, but I intend to keep looking, and I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful, fun documentary to watch.
I'm sure, yeah. Well, okay, so Rory, you said it's also your number one?
It is. Oh shoot. Anyway, it's got a soft spot in my heart because, of course, I was one of those kids that snuck off in the middle of the night to watch it. You know, when I was in high school with my friends, and we would drive over to Gainesville from Lake City, Florida, which was about a 40-minute drive to watch that movie at midnight and to dress up in costume and be the characters in front of the screen. You know. So
I would see Virginized. I went once.
Yeah.
It was so super fun.
Yeah, you got to go see it in the theater because then you get all the lines from the audience, you know, that go with it, you know, that were created by the group up in New York.
They made all of the versions get on the stage, and you know, it's just so fun, and you feel so part of something. And I wasn't. You know, it wasn't my thing to go on a regular basis, but I will never forget the one time I went, and it was amazing. And it really was like, that's one of the things that the Behind the Music talks about, is how it didn't get critical acclaim, but like, of course not. It became so huge in these theaters, and it just really was somewhere to hang out and have fun and to have friends and to, you know, you could walk in once, which I did, and everybody is like, you know, you're part of the party instantly. It was wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you dress up, Rory? Did you dress up?
I did. I started doing the narrator. Dressed up as the narrator and
cool.
had a pretty good costume. And then I started to go. I found out that Meatloaf actually played Dr. Scott and Eddie in the original show. So I started going as Eddie and Dr. Scott after that. So I played both characters, which was fun. And I had a saxophone that had a kazoo attached to the end of it, and I would play the saxophone, kind of.
Nice.
My kazoo. And it was a lot of fun. And again, the movie is all about sexual freedom and awareness. And we see Sarandon, above all else, we see Susan Sarandon blossom, if you will, become this. She starts out as this really shy and meek, milquetoast kind of girl next door. And then she becomes aware, you know, and it's a wonderful performance. It really is. And I honestly, I don't think she's topped it. You were talking about the Academy Award she got for Dead Man Walking. That wasn't really high on my list of the movies that I saw this week. I had not seen it. I was looking forward to seeing it. And, you know, the movie was just okay. You know, I thought it's a good performance. Don't get me wrong. But compared to the other body of work that she's got, it just kind of went lower down on the list. But Rocky Horror Picture Show is a great picture. It's an ensemble picture. Great performances by all. But she still stands out. She really does. Enough to make number one on the list.
Yeah. Well, I have to agree. Yeah, it was number one on my list. And
you know, I thought last night that was going to be our number one on all three of our lists. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm that's awesome. That's really wonderful.
Well, I actually, my introduction to Rocky Horror was through the soundtrack of all things. A friend of mine had the record album, and he was a huge fan of the movie, and so I knew all the songs before I even saw the movie. And I didn't see it at the theater at first. I saw it on VHS back when VHS was a thing, and I was instantly hooked. And of course, Tim Curry.
Oh
Tim
my
Curry
God, Tim Curry
is the man.
blew my mind.
And when he comes out and he's singing you know,
Sweet
transsexual
transvestite.
Transylvania,
From
yeah, sweet
transsexual
transvestite.
Transylvania.
It
Transylvania.
Love it.
exactly it blew my mind. I was like, I'd never seen anything like it. Of course, I knew the song because I'd already heard it like a million times. But to actually see him
Oh
right
wow.
from he's in the elevator, how'd you do? I see you've met my
So
faithful handyman,
amazing.
and then boom, it was amazing. And of course, Susan Sarandon, touch me, which
Mhm.
I did. But that's a whole other story.
We all did.
Yeah. So anyway,
We
yeah.
were talking about this before the show. I always thought that Susan Sarandon never had done nudity in any of her films because she did not do nudity in that film. She was dressed
Yeah.
very risque in a few places, but
Oh,
she
yeah.
didn't do nudity in that film. And it turns out that no, in her first film, Joe, she's nude, and in The Hunger with Danube, she
Yeah.
does a nude lesbian
And I
scene,
think White
with
Palace
vampires.
too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was
There's
really
a lot of
surprised about that. And there's a couple of other movies where she's actually
Yeah.
nude as well in
oh
her
yeah,
earlier films.
yeah.
Well, the
Yeah.
thing is that she was fine with it as long as it was necessary. So
Yeah.
like there's a story about Thelma and Louise, and Ridley Scott wanted Gina Davis to not have a shirt on. And she went and told Susan Sarandon, and Susan Sarandon said, yeah, Thelma would not do that. So Susan Sarandon went over to Ridley Scott and said, yeah, we won't be doing that because there's no reason. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and honestly, like, if that's not reason enough to love Susan Sarandon, like, she was
Right? Exactly.
fierce. Oh,
Exactly.
she was fierce.
Yeah.
She is fierce. We
She
just don't
is.
see her as often.
To this day. Well, they're yeah, technically we don't see her nude, but at towards the end when Frankenfurter does the thing with the machine and turns everybody into statues, she's naked.
That's true. The statue's nude.
naked.
But it's just,
And they actually did a life cast of her
Hmm.
and Barry Bostwick and everybody else
Hmm.
to get those statues, but that's about it.
and then naughty bits.
And they're naughty bits, yes. But, yeah. Of course, Richard O'Brien was just such a genius to even come up with that. He was a fan of those early 50s science fiction movies, and he wanted to make one.
Right.
And
Yeah.
wound up doing this parody version, and it really started as it's kind of a joke, like, and it then blossomed into this thing, which, of course, I think we all know the story how the movie bombed originally. I mean, nobody, it's like, and so the studio was like, well, what do we do with this thing? Until a theater in, I believe, New York, a
Right.
theater
The
manager
Waverly.
of the movie,
The Waverly
and
Theater in New York City,
yes,
in the
yes,
Village.
and started seeing the people who were actually coming to see the movie, and thought, you know what, we're going to start showing this, but we're going to do it as a midnight feature,
Right.
and it just became this
It took
after
off.
that it became
My
the
favorite was they were asking the people who own the theater, they're like, how many people do you get? And they're like, in the beginning it was 40, 50, and then they're like 100, and they're like, but the peculiar thing is it's the same exact people every single night.
Yeah, it became, so it's really one of the first
wonderful.
movies that created repeat viewing. Of course, and now it's
And the midnight feature, that's like
the midnight
a
feature.
huge thing when I was in college.
Yeah.
Years later. And it was very interesting to me because this movie is still going on today and people are still gathering
still doing,
and it's just wonderful. The movie
I
is
don't
a year younger than I am and it's going full force.
I don't remember.
The movie is.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't remember the year that I did this, but I went with a bunch of people to the Alamo Theater in Austin,
Mm.
and they were showing Rocky Horror. So I went to see. I didn't go in costume, but there were a lot of people there who did. So
Did
I
it make
was
you get on the stage?
I did not get on the stage, no. Even though I wanted to, but I did sing along, and I did do all the things with the
Yeah.
newspaper and the rice and all the stuff that you do and all the lines, because you know everybody, we were all prepared, because we were all just huge fans, and so we went to see it. It had to be at least, God, 15, maybe 20 years ago when we did this,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was a lot. It was a
I
much
saw it
younger
in the
man
mid
then.
90s. And
Yeah.
I wore black all the time back then. So like
You're
it was
goth.
fine, it didn't matter, but like you did not have a choice. You enter the theater and they're like, if they don't know you, they grab you and they put you on the stage. And no, I mean, I'm not really particularly shy, and I never really have been. So it's good, but like I had so much fun. But yeah, it's not like somewhere that you could go if you were shy, because you were going to get
Oh
on
yeah.
that stage and you were
Oh
going to
yeah.
do the time warp with them, and you were not sitting
Absolutely.
down until they told you that you were
Yeah.
properly de-virginized.
You were.
That's what made
Yeah.
it so wonderful, though.
Yeah.
Well, ironically, I'm a huge Bond fan. So, and I
Mhm.
told you that I started going as the narrator. So that should tell you right there what brought me in. I was a fan of
Yeah.
Charles Gray, who played the
Yeah.
narrator, and he was also
Yeah.
Blofeld in Diamonds Are Forever.
Ah, yeah.
And
Now,
that
did you
happened
do
to
the
be, those
voice?
two movies happened to be two of the first VHS movies that I watched over and over and over again on my machine that I got in the early 80s. So
Did you do the voice? Did you do the?
I did. I would like, if I may,
That's so great.
to take you all on a rather strange journey.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, of
So I'm
course.
going to tell you guys a story about the first time I saw this movie. So
Okay.
I was raised Orthodox Jewish, and so Friday night and Saturday we would watch movies. Like we would, have like rest time, I guess. And you're not allowed to do a number of things. You're not allowed to drive. You're not allowed to do all these things. So we would have movie days. And my dad would come home with the craziest movies as long as Siskel and Ebert gave them 2 thumbs up. And so this was one of the movies. And I remember I'm like a teenager sitting there with my 4-year younger sister and my parents watching this movie.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's not a movie you want to watch with your parents.
No, but they watched the whole movie, and it was just so more, because I was a teenager, so it was mortifying for me. But
Mhm.
it was, and my parents, hadn't heard of it before, because when it came out, they had a baby and they were living in like the suburbs and stuff. So yeah, that was my very embarrassing first time watching it.
Oh my goodness. Well, there you go. All right. Well, I think we've talked about Rocky Horror
Yeah, I
enough.
spent the first 25 minutes talking about the first film.
Oh, it's so
Exactly.
good
But it's
though.
such a great movie. But let's move on to your number 2, Alana. What's your number
Okay,
2?
well, my number 2, there's a ton to talk about. Also, it's Thelma and Louise, which for me, it's from 1991. It was
Mhm.
also one of the movies that my dad rented for Saturday afternoon. And it was, I think I was 17. It just blew me away. And it was so powerful and so meaningful. And it taught me how to have a voice. And
Mhm.
I mean, Gina Davis was very popular around that time also. And
Yeah.
I really loved her in so many different movies. But Susan Sarandon, she was just like, I wanted to be just like her. She was so strong, and we did not see, female characters like that at the time. And even like I had mentioned that Ridley Scott directed this, he did not want to direct this because this is not the kind of movie. But that
when I saw that, it floored me. I'm like, Ridley Scott directing a chick flick? Really?
That changes the movie because it's not a chick flick. It is actually a movie that just happens to be two women instead of two men. And it was very, very powerful for me. So this had to be my number 2 because this was actually probably the movie that Susan Sarandon did that helped create who I am now. And amazing movie. The performance, her performance is just mind-blowing. Yeah. So good.
Rory, what's your number 2?
I want to say it is a good movie. It is a chick flick. Okay, you're not convincing me otherwise. I watched it today. It is a buddy film, like you said. It's just 2 girls instead of 2 guys. And good performances all the way around. I think Gina Davis's performance was more powerful. It overpowered Sarandon, so it's a little farther down on my list. But yeah, it's a great flick. My number 2 is The Client. Sarandon plays a lawyer. She's really good. The kid in the movie is really good.
Yeah.
And when you can hold your own with Tommy Lee Jones, then yeah, that's good performing there.
Where even was he? Like, I'm sorry, they overshadowed him. Like he's an amazing actor. But I was all about the kid and Reggie. Like
just really good performance, good story. I mean, it grabs you and it holds on to you for the whole hour and 50 minutes, I think it is. And again, you love courtroom stuff, so
I really do. I love this movie. It was a John Grisham movie. At that time, there were a ton of John Grisham movies. John Grisham was an attorney who stopped being an attorney and started writing these kinds of films. And I watched them all.
Well, he wrote the books first, and then they started optioning them for making films. Yeah,
they were great.
Indeed. Yeah, there was a whole slew of them in the 90s there, in the late 80s
and that's
and the 90s.
The only reason why it did not make my top 5 is just because it was very much a kind of a movie, but I loved it so much. I mean, I liked watching her. Lost Boys Club. It's always been a boys club.
This is one of those tricky shows where there's so much good content. It's hard to pick a top 5 and put the rest of them on a honorable mention list. Yeah,
and it's impossible to even order your top 5 because every single movie is so good. Like I had every single movie. I think I watched 20 of them. Every single movie is a top 5 movie.
Again, out of all of her movies, I only have 3 stinkers that I put on a dishonorable mention line here on my sheet. She's done a good job picking good films and good roles for herself.
And she's been really brave, and she's taken things that nobody else would have taken, and I have a lot of respect for her.
So that's my number 2.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, no, good choice. Well, my number 2 is also Thelma and Louise, for a lot of the reasons that Alana already mentioned. I love Sarandon in that movie. I love Gina Davis in that movie. It introduced us to a young actor that went on to do a few other movies by the name of Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Before he,
Harvey Keitel is surprisingly very good in that too.
And Harvey Keitel, yes.
And Stephen Tobolowsky. I always love Stephen Tobolowsky.
I don't know why I've always liked Michael Madsen. Always liked him when I was younger. I was happy to
Magic
Yeah.
kind of comes in and then disappears in the film. But yeah.
Yeah. But you know, and yeah, Renee's right. Renee, sorry. Ilana is right. We didn't see a lot of these kinds of movies where you actually have strong female characters,
Mm.
or you know, leading the movie. You know, and especially in sort of buddy type thing. You know, I mean, we've seen guys do this sort of thing all the time,
Right.
and which kind of it made me angry when I saw the movie, the ending, and
Yeah.
you know, I thought, oh, that's so unfair. That's so unfair. You wouldn't do that to Sylvester Stallone and you know, whoever he's paired up with. You know, they would have had a happy ending. They would have gotten away with it. You know, or there would have been something. You know, but no. You got to kill off the girls. And spoiler alert, they drive off a cliff at the end.
They don't
But
just drive off a cliff; they drive into the Grand Canyon.
yeah.
But I have
Although,
to
is
say,
there?
It's a
There's
I
statement.
read something, and
It's
they
definitely a
said
statement.
that
Yeah.
they worked really hard to get the car to go up.
Hmm.
And I have to say that when I saw it with one of my friends who actually asked if they made it to the other side. And like, of course they didn't make it to the other side, but I have to say that there was power in that, the way they take off and the car goes up. And I don't remember us thinking about the consequences. You know what I mean? It was almost like they're gonna fly, like women are taking off, like almost like a 1991, like, I mean, and I'm sure that this was because I was 17 at the time. It felt like the 90s was going to be this hopeful decade for women. That's how I took it as a 17-year-old me.
Well, I think we all knew what was going to happen. You know,
Yeah.
it's basically the Butch and Sundance move at the end
Yeah, I
of the
mean,
movie.
they
Yes,
get
I was
closer and
exactly.
closer
We're
to
going to
the
valiantly
inevitable.
go out guns blazing,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Exactly.
It is
Yeah.
inevitable.
And the same kind of, just the freeze frame, and you know that, it's. I was going to say I think there was a Saturday Night Live skit where, and I don't know if I think either Gina Davis or Susan Sarandon were in it, maybe
Yeah.
not, where you see them in the car, you know, you see the leap, and then they cut to them in the car, and they're just still like flying, and they're like, are we gonna hit bottom anytime soon? You know, they're just, and there's this whole dialogue, and it was hilarious.
That's funny because that's how it felt watching it as a 17-year-old.
Yeah, you just knew that they were going to survive, and we were going to see a sequel, and you know.
I'm surprised Hollywood didn't find a way to make a sequel. You know, like have them land on a truck of mattresses or something. You know,
like the old movie serial.
They're back.
So glad. Like there are a couple of movies from when I was growing up that were so impactful and powerful, and I would never want there to be another film afterwards.
Well, exactly.
And
but
I'm
Hollywood
so glad that
they
this
make
is
sequels with like just to make money, and they don't care.
Flying over the Grand Canyon, like that's what Thelma and Louise are doing, and
they get picked up by a UFO.
I want to be them.
They're in a little plateau. They're rescued. They get out of jail. They go on another adventure.
Flying over the Grand Canyon with them, like
forever. Yeah.
Right. So I'm really
glad. Or a Thelma and Louise prequel.
There you go.
Yeah, don't touch anybody, please. Don't ruin your childhood.
There's already somebody going, oh, what an idea, yeah.
Too many movies were taken already.
I know. All right. So, Alana, what's your number? Yeah, what's your
okay, so
what's your third?
I'm actually changing my number 3 right now.
Okay.
I'm going with the Hunger.
Okay.
Because one of the things do like about her so much is that she did pick all of these different types of movies and these really brave movies too. And The Hunger is a 1983 vampire movie with Catherine Deneuve and David Bowie. And
Right.
and Willem Dafoe has a bit part, which made me happy to see him, of course. And Ridley Scott's brother, Tony Scott, actually did this movie.
Right,
Unfortunately, Tony Scott, he took his life at some point.
Yeah.
But not before making some good movies. And this movie really is a work of art. It's absolutely gorgeous. Susan Sarandon is amazing. Catherine Deneuve is amazing. David Bowie is amazing. I had never seen it before, and it took me a little while to get started with it. I mean, I like the song. It opens with Bela Lugosi's dead, but
Bela
I was
Lugosi's
like,
dead. Yeah.
I'm not really sold. I don't really know if I'm going to actually watch this movie. And then all of a sudden, I just like fell into it, and it was. Other than the ending, I don't know how I feel about the ending, because I don't know that the ending makes so much sense. But
it doesn't.
Right? She shouldn't.
And I'll be
alive.
honest with you, this movie pissed me off to no end. It's just
she
so
should
weird
not be
in places,
alive, right?
and they go so far off the vampire lore that I was just really upset by it. But again,
But it's
visually
still
very
stunning.
striking. Like you say, the performances top notch.
Yeah.
But I really feel that Tony Scott was not the director for this film.
When I saw her at the end, I was like, wait, she should be dead. She should not be anywhere right now.
Obviously, she survived, and because she has a little mark on her neck, okay, she's a vampire, so it'd be harder to kill her.
No, she killed herself. She killed herself.
She tried.
Should be dead. I'm not sold on the ending, but
I wasn't either.
The journey was fun and gorgeous. And so that's my number 3.
Again, yeah, you're right. It's visually striking. The performances are good, but I felt like they got a little off the vampire lore a little too much. And that kind of upset me.
So what's your number 3, Rory?
My number 3 is The Witches of Eastwick.
Okay.
I know it's an ensemble movie, but again, it's just such a fun movie all the way around that I had to put it on the list. And it just happened to be third on my list. Nicholson's fantastic. You've got Cher, you've got Michelle Pfeiffer, and of course, in the middle, you've got Susan Sarandon, and they're great as the witches. And it's a great story. You've got, I want to say Veronica Cartwright. I always get them mixed up. The two sisters, the Cartwright sisters. One of them is in Lost in Space. The other one is Alien, The Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and this one, wonderful cast. Great story. A lot of fun. I forgot how much I enjoyed this movie when I saw it in the theaters. Until I watched it again yesterday. And again, it's weird, but it's fun weird. You like it.
Yeah.
Have another cherry.
The only thing
was fun. That was very fun. I like that scene.
The only thing, honestly, though, it's on my honorable mentions list, and the only reason that it didn't make my top 5 was because I felt it was Jack Nicholson's movie.
Yeah.
Throughout.
And Cher's.
And Cher, those two really dominated. I mean, yes, Susan's in it, and she's great, and Michelle Pfeiffer is wonderful, but Jack and Cher pretty much take over the movie. But it's still a great movie and a lot of fun for what. And Susan Sarandon did a really good job in that movie.
Yeah, again, we see a transformation of her character.
Yeah, yeah.
And
There's
you always
a
feel like Cher's character is a very strong-willed character throughout. She's Cher, but with
Mhm.
and with Michelle Pfeiffer, she kind of is the same character at the end of the movie that she was in the beginning, maybe a little stronger. But with
Yeah,
Sarandon, you see a full transformation
Yeah,
yeah,
you do.
yeah.
of this music teacher who's hating life
Mhm.
as it is. She's miserable. She's got the school principal, after her. He
Right.
wants to, and yeah, she's not happy with life. And then she becomes, through the other two girls and through
Mhm.
Nicholson showing up in her life. What was his name?
Oh,
I want to say Damien.
Daryl.
Maybe Daryl. Yeah, Daryl Van
Oh,
Horn.
yes.
Daryl Van
yeah.
Horn. Which of course he's supposed to be the devil.
Right.
Van Horn.
The power of the three women was really
Yeah.
amazing, and it made me remember how much I love the three of them just in all their films. And I'm just gonna say this: we should really do Michelle Pfeiffer if we haven't already.
No, we haven't gotten her
We
yet.
haven't
it
done
made
Michelle
me
Pfeiffer yet.
it made me miss
But
her.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
and
done
we
some
should. She's
movies
got a
that
great
I'm
body of
very
work.
favorite.
yeah. Well,
There is a scene in this towards the end where he's attacking them in the mansion, and Susan Sarandon's character falls over the railing,
Mm-hmm.
and they tell her laugh, and it's such a powerful scene because she's
Oh
laughing and
yeah.
crying at the same time. She's terrified because she's falling, and she
Mm-hmm.
laughs and stops right before she hits the floor because it's the power that they have of being together.
Right.
They can save each other with laughter and with being witches. And again, Sarandon pulls it off. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah,
mhm.
I really the power of the three of them and how
Yeah.
connected they were, and that was I love that part. And you're right. I was a little disappointed by this movie, but now that we're talking about it, I feel like I might not have given it a fair, I might not have been as open with it because in retrospect, there's really a lot that I liked about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not to love. And music by John Williams.
Oh, always a plus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So my number three, just jump in here. My number three is Bull Durham.
Fun movie.
One, probably, maybe, arguably one of the best sports movies. Certainly one of the best sports movies that Kevin Costner's ever done.
That's why it didn't make
Again,
the top five. Is because Costner's in it.
well,
Everybody else is wonderful. Again, it's on my honorable mention list because it is a fun movie. And again, it's got Robert Wall, who's fantastic in it. I gave him his kind of foot up.
mhm,
Tim Robbins is phenomenal in it.
mhm,
Tim
yeah,
Robbins is an amazing actor.
Yeah,
yeah,
just a really good cast. And again, I'm not a big sports fan, but that was fun. I mean, watching
mhm,
the baseball from behind the scenes is actually fun. And that's why
mhm.
we were A League of Their Own. I'm trying to think. Oh,
League of Their Own.
Penny Marshall
Penny
directed A League
Marshall.
of Their Own. And again,
Mhm,
we got the same kind of fun of seeing it from
That's a
the other
wonderful
side
movie.
in
I
that way.
love
mhm.
that movie. A
Yeah,
League of Their
yeah.
Own. That's a very
Well,
underrated movie.
yeah, we'll have to do a Gina Davis topic as well eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bull Durham, and we talk about Susan Sarandon in this case. And yeah, she's done nudity and all that stuff, but honestly, I don't think she's ever been as sensual as she was in Bull Durham. I mean, holy cow, the woman was absolutely just hot in that movie.
Yeah.
And and I think I'm not sure that
Because it's
maybe the
part of the
movie.
story.
Well, it's part of the story, exactly.
Mhm.
But there's just something very just sensual about Susan Sarandon as a person. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, there's just she just exudes this overwhelming sexuality about her.
Yeah.
And anyway, I mean, I can see why Tim Robbins hooked up with her. Uh, and of course, some of the other men in her life, she was with a couple of directors early on in her career. And like I said at the beginning, she had a child with one. And then she was also involved with Louis Malle, who directed Pretty Baby. But it was Tim Robbins who pretty much won her heart. Although I think they're separated now.
Yeah,
I think
they were
Yeah,
together
they
for
are.
10 years.
So
They actually got together on that one, Bull Durham, and they lasted
that's
10
what I
years.
thought.
So
Yeah.
it was like 87 or 88, and then it
Yeah.
was 97, 98 when they split up. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so uh, and I'm not a huge sports fan either, but I do love baseball. I do love the game of baseball, and that's of all the sports balls out there, that's the one I like. And Costner, I'm lukewarm about him. I mean, he's an okay actor, but it was Susan Sarandon that really made this movie for me, and Tim Robbins as well, like you said. So anyway, so that was my number three. So let's move on to number four. Alana, what's your number four?
Okay. I think I'm going to say that my number 4 was Enchanted.
Okay.
Okay.
With Amy Adams and Patrick Dempsey.
Mhm.
And it is a Disney movie. And again, keeping with the Susan Sarandon picking up very different roles, she is a Disney evil queen.
Yes.
Mhm.
But not only is she the evil queen, she's all that goes along with it. So she's also the old lady, and she's also a dragon. And it was just, I did not stop laughing through this entire movie. This movie was so fun, and I
It
love
pokes fun at the Disney princesses, yes, which makes it a lot of fun.
It's great, and Susan Sarandon is a great villainess, and
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of New York movies, and this is a New York movie. I loved when she said, they're like, "Where'd you send her?" And she said, "Where nothing good can happen," or something like that, or like everything is always bad.
And the next thing you see is New York, and it says New York City.
Hysterical. They're having these musical numbers, and like everybody's, my favorite scene was when she starts whistling to get all of the critters to come help her clean up the place. And they do. In fact, all the critters of New York City come and help her. But the whole band, like a band of rats comes, and she's
It's
like,
rats and pigeons and
and cockroaches, and the cockroaches clean the sink. This was hysterical. And I remember Patrick Dempsey from movies when I was growing up. He was in Can't Buy Me Love and some other movies that I just love. And it was so fun. And again, didn't stop laughing through I can't say that about many movies, but I did not stop laughing at all. So I love this movie.
It is a fun movie. It's on my honorable mention list.
Cool. Yeah, me too. All right, awesome. So, Rory, what's your number four?
My number four was Stepmom, just because of her performance, and all of the subtext that we get from her performance as the original mom of kids. And it's Julia Roberts' movie, but they actually do share. They share the burden of the movie and the characters. And again, Julia Roberts is the other girl that's stepping in to be the stepmom. She's the stepmom, and you can see the pain in Susan Sarandon having to kind of hand her kids over to this stepmom throughout the movie, and that makes the film itself it's good, but the performance really is what shines.
Mhm.
So I had to give it a spot on the list. It's number 4.
I had seen this movie a number of times. I really do not like Julia Roberts. I find this movie to be like a guilty pleasure movie.
Yeah.
But I watched it because I had some time and I wanted to watch something that was like quick to watch, and this movie is definitely a quick watch. And I was really surprised at how I did not remember Susan Sarandon's performance being, I mean, she has a clear trajectory. It's an amazing performance, and her performance is so good that for me it makes up for Julia Roberts. It could have been anybody there. And she really makes herself from this, kind of bitter ex-wife into the heart of this family that, I mean, that's all her. She turns it completely around, and she takes her kids from, hating this woman to loving this woman. And, she's dying of cancer. So
I thought the cancer thing was a little much,
she's
but
the future. She has to, this other woman is going to get to have their weddings and, grandchildren. And it was so, I have a number of things going on, and so it is not like me to cry that much during a movie. But just like I laughed through the entire Enchanted movie, I cried through the entire Stepmom movie. So it really hit me this time. It definitely hit me way more than it did when I saw it when I was younger.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that kept me from really enjoying the movie, I mean, I liked Susan Sarandon, and I don't have a problem with Julia Roberts, is it did feel like, and it's a tearjerker. And so, yeah, you're absolutely entitled to cry in this movie. But I felt like the tear-jerking was too intentional. It's like
unless you
just heard me say I thought that the cancer thing was a little much.
Exactly. It's like
it takes
it like
from, jealous mom to tearjerker.
Yeah, but if you follow Susan Sarandon's performance and how she takes it all in and how she deals with it, her performance is really much better than this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
No, I'm not saying I'm not I'm not faulting her performance, and you're absolutely right about that. She elevates that material. What I'm saying is it feels like whenever you have a movie like this, and they're like, well, we need to give that, they wind up giving a character cancer. I mean, it's like terms of endearment.
Definitely guilty pleasure movie.
Yeah, it's like
definitely like
I felt the same way about
with my boyfriend, and I need to cry for a little while. So now I'm gonna cry, and so I think that's why I missed the power of her performance before, is because I'm very lucky to be happily married, and I'm doing much better with my own chronic illness and everything else. And so I actually was able to take in her performance completely, and that was something that really changed it for me. But I guess that's the thing, is that I did have to follow her, like not the movie itself.
Well, good. All right, so my number 4 is also The Hunger, and it's in my top 5 or top 10 of best vampire movies, and I know obviously I know Rory disagrees with me, and that's fine. But and yes, it does mess with the lore and blah blah blah. But I read the book before I saw the movie, and the movie actually follows the book pretty closely. I don't remember if they changed the ending. They probably did. But yeah, I had the same problem with the ending, like you two. But up to that point, and I loved the beginning of this movie the whole sort of MTV video style thing with Bela Lugosi's Dead. You know, Bauhaus is just one of my favorite
Yeah.
tech, you know, from
Great.
that era, and great use of that song. And of course, had out all of Tony Scott's signature, you know, the smoky environments and the lights shining through it, and the quick cuts and all that. Uh, and then, of course, you get the scene where the woman, the vampire, leads them into their her and Bowie leads them into their lair, and of course drink their blood and all that. But
Can you explain to me why David, because I didn't catch it when I watched it, why David Bowie's character starts aging, other than the fact that they got Dick Smith to do the makeup, which is phenomenal. Why his character, who's supposed to be a vampire, just ages dramatically?
well, because he's not a vampire.
He's not.
He's not a vampire. He
Okay.
is basically her
She
boy
owns
toy.
Because
him.
they show like flashbacks that look like they're, you know, back in Mozart's time when he's teaching her music
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something, you know, and
Yeah.
she
Well, what
takes
happened?
her-
Well, she is able to slow down the aging process,
Mhm.
but only up to a point. Eventually, it comes to a point where it's no longer possible. You know, whatever the
Okay.
process is, it starts to break down, and the
Okay.
nature, the time literally catches up to them, and that's why you see in one scene where she's putting him in the sarcophagus, or that there's a bunch of them, and she's been doing this for who knows how many centuries,
Right.
and they're all her lovers.
And they all come back at the
That
end. Yeah.
yeah. Uh, so that's the thing. He's
Yeah, I
not.
guess I didn't.
She's the only real vampire in the story, or in this world.
We see a lot of blood in the attacks, but we never see vampire fangs. We never see them bite.
No. Yeah, well,
Like
and again, that was a deliberate choice.
Yeah, I
They-
like that part.
it was like, no, you know, fangs are just way too cliche, and also that it's vampirism, but not that kind of traditional, you know, sort of hammer horror type thing.
yeah,
You
because
know,
they had
they
these
wanted to
little
really
things
keep
around
it
their neck, these symbols.
right.
And I'm
These
guessing they're supposed
Egyptian-
to mean something, but they turn into little knives that they can cut people with.
Well, yeah, the irony is that
Yeah.
they're ankhs, which is the Egyptian symbol of life. But yeah, then they used to instead of fangs, because they wanted to keep it grounded in a kind of realism.
I guess the thing that was strange for me though is, okay, so Catherine Deneuve's character
Hmm.
owns David Bowie, and so David Bowie
Basically.
gets sped up but then for some reason she doesn't own Susan Sarandon, so Susan Sarandon gets to come back at the end. Like, that was weird to me. Like, why wouldn't it be the same? Like, why would...
Well, evidently time ran out for Catherine Deneuve's character because she starts to age rapidly at the end
Yeah,
when
but
all
that's
the others
because
come
all
out.
of those people come at her. That's
And
like
she ends
all
up in
of
a sarcophagus.
Her past comes back, so
Yeah.
she didn't age.
They did a poor job of
Yeah,
explaining
they
that.
didn't.
They kept it. Yeah, I mean, the
I
book
don't like when
does a
they
better
like
job.
monologue explain things, but
Yeah,
that
but a line or two
there
needed. Yeah.
there are holes in
Oh,
the plot,
definitely,
for sure.
definitely. Oh, definitely.
Okay.
But I think visually, it's
Yeah,
it's just a
it's
stunning, beautiful, and again, that's just a trademark
They're
of
very much
Tony's
part
of the
of the
Scots.
MTV generation. And I
Yeah,
read something
yeah.
about that. And so that was, I guess, when I came back to the movie.
Yeah.
But you were prepared for that when you started watching it. So I guess that was why
Mhm.
I wasn't committed to it in the beginning, is
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah,
needed
it was
that
much
little
more my-
reminder.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. So what are we up to? Number 5?
Number
So what's your
5.
number 5, Ilana?
Well, I'm gonna say that number 5 was Stepmom.
Okay.
I kind of shifted things because I had Dead Man Walking on there, and then I was like, well, I don't really know that I want that in my top 5. So we'll say the Stepmom is.
I did the exact same thing. It was in my top 5, and then I bumped it down to the
Yeah.
honorable mentions list.
I do have 2.
Me too.
Well, I mean, so somebody else is going to pick that up and say it's the best movie ever, and it's on every list, so I don't feel like I have to talk about how great it is.
Mhm.
I do have 2 honorable mentions, so coming up, but yeah, we'll make Stepmom my 5th.
Okay. All right.
And I think
Rory,
I
what's your?
talked about it.
My number 5 is one that we haven't talked about yet, and that's
Mhm.
Atlantic City with
Ah,
Burt Lancaster.
that was good.
It's a good movie. It's a good performance by her. Again, another transformative performance.
Yeah.
To, to show that you're kind of falling in love with old cranky Burt Lancaster, that takes acting.
Mhm.
So that nudged it into the top 5 spot. Because there are other movies, yeah, like The Hunger and The Tempest that were on my list, and they got bumped down as I watched these movies. So
Wait,
yeah,
did you
Atlantic
just
City
say
is
The
definitely worth a
Tempest?
watch. Again, some impressive, delightful nudity.
Did you say she was in The Tempest?
She's in Tempest. It's not The Tempest. It's Tempest. Yeah,
Okay. I'm okay with missing it then. I
and
was
her
like, oh my
performance in
god.
that is very good.
I'm a huge Shakespeare nut, so that was very exciting.
It
for
is a
second.
retelling, a modern telling of The Tempest, and it's really cool in how they do it. And it's got Raul Julia in it as I think they call him Calibanus instead of
So
Caliban.
if somebody was a nut for Shakespeare, is it worth seeing or no?
Yeah, definitely. I've seen the Tempest, the Tempest play on stage, and again, I see all the similarities. And again, you're not upset by the fact that they've modernized it.
Okay,
It's
so
actually
that
kind
might
of
be
cool.
fun. Okay.
So yeah, it's got Raul Julia in it. Molly Ringwald, early Molly Ringwald.
Oh my goodness, Molly
Yeah,
Ring.
she plays his daughter. John Cassavetes is the main character, and he goes
Wow.
off to an island in Greece to get away from
Ah,
to get away from New York and the crap that he has to go through with people in his architect job. And his wife, she's cheated on him, and so he wants to get away from her. And Susan Sarandon plays the woman that he meets in Greece. She's a singer who's living there. And again, they go to this desolate island, and the only other person on the island with his goats is Raul Julia's character, Calibanus. And it's a really good movie. Yeah. And I thought I was going to hate the ending, and I didn't. So definitely worth a mention. It's number 1 on my honorable mention list.
Great.
Nice. Okay. Well, as it happens, my number 5 is also Atlantic City, which I'm so glad somebody else thinks it's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's probably not one of her better known ones. I don't think. It's also in the 70s, directed by Louis Malle, who, as we said, directed.
It's made its way onto a lot of lists.
Yeah, it's climbing up there.
That.
I saw it in the theater when it first came out, and yeah, her cutting lemons and wiping lemon juice on as her skin regimen seared into my little adolescent teenage boy.
Lancaster watches from another window. Ha ha.
Exactly.
Atlantic City is from 1980. It's pretty early in her career.
Yeah, 1980. Yeah, but it was made in 79. And I read an interesting story. I was doing a little research on it, and Louis Malle, the director, it was part of his contract when he was working in Canada at the time, and he was told, you have to finish this movie before the end of 1979. and he started filming the movie in October of '79 and finished it almost right up to the I think December 30th, although there was some extra pickups and things that into the 80 or into 1980, but for pretty much principal photography was finished in 1979. So he fulfilled his contract, and he had mostly Canadian and French actors. Burt Lancaster and Susan Sarandon were actually the only two American actors in the movie. And he filmed a lot of it on location in Atlantic City. And this was before it started becoming a casino town, before gambling was legalized there. And so he used a lot of actual locations in the city. But it's a terrific movie. It's kind of a low-key gangster movie. Burt Lancaster as the older sort of, former gangster who still talks about, his glory days with Bugsy Siegel and all.
Meyer Lansky, yeah.
Meyer Lansky. And there's one point where Susan Sarandon, who plays a waitress in like a little casino there, who wants to be a croupier. She wants to be, work her way up. But unfortunately, things happen that kind of thwart her dreams. And it's just. Oh, she says, "Who the hell is Bugsy Siegel?" Because she's way younger than Burt Lancaster at this point.
Right.
Both she and the character. Obviously, and this is, again, toward the end of Lancaster's career anyway, but he still puts in a wonderful performance as this aging gangster. And I have to shout out to an actress named Kate Reed, who plays this woman that Lancaster's been kind of taking care of, because she was the wife of his former boss. And she might be a little bit more familiar as one of the scientists in a movie called The Andromeda Strain. And she's done a lot of other things as well, but she had a wonderful little part. And I'm surprised that she didn't get like a best supporting actress Oscar for this movie, because she was just terrific in this
This
part.
was another one where I thought I was going to hate the ending, and I was okay with it. I liked it.
Yeah. It's not a happy ending, but it's not a sad ending.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. It was it wraps up the story really well. It made sense. Yeah. And I was so afraid that Burt Lancaster was going to get killed, that his character was going to die at the end, but he doesn't. Yeah. He survives, and everybody, I guess, lives happily ever after. We don't know. Again, it's one of those where, hey, the movie's over, go home. This is it. So,
yeah.
All right.
So you had a couple of honorable mentions, Alana?
I do. I have a very bizarre honorable mention. Who Am I This Time from 1982.
Oh.
It is director Jonathan Demme. Must have been at the pretty beginning of his career. The co-star is Christopher Walken.
It's a TV movie, yeah.
Yeah, who's
yes, I remember it well.
And it is based on a Kurt Vonnegut short story.
Yes.
And it's wild because it is a television movie. So seeing Jonathan Demme, Christopher Walken, Susan Sarandon for television in 1982, it was just, I just was I was watching it with like my jaw was hanging open because I didn't know how to process this.
It is so wonderful. It really is. It should be a top list, but I know why, because it's a TV movie. But it deserves a mention.
So
yes.
I did a search for Susan Sarandon cult films, Susan Sarandon, unknown films, like all of these different ones, because I wanted to find things that were under the radar, because I knew that she did all of, with Rocky Horror Picture Show, I knew she did a number of movies that people wouldn't expect. And this was just a gem. I mean, 1982, people who, 10 years later, approximately 10 years later, Jonathan Demme is going to direct Silence of the Lambs and become completely untouchable. Like, it's just wild to see them. And if you watch it on YouTube, I have a link for it. If anybody's interested, it is, with the old commercials, and it is completely wild. And the story is completely wild. It's basically this amazing actor played by Christopher Walken, who is stellar when he's acting, but when he's not acting, he just is basically like, he has no personality. And so Susan Sarandon falls in love with him, and she realizes that he can act on a day-to-day basis and express himself through plays. So she brings plays to him that they actually talk through these plays about how they're feeling about their lives, their feelings for each other, their act in plays. And she ends up marrying him, and he is elated that somebody understands him. And she just loves that, in a week she got to be wooed by 10 different characters. And it just, talk about an arc. Like, I love these characters are totally untouchable. They're so well armored, and by the end of the movie they are madly in love, and they have this bond that they've constructed with each other. So it's really beautiful, and it's so cool. So
Interesting.
And again, Walken is phenomenal as well as
my goodness,
actor who's
seeing him.
This is Peter Sellers. Peter Sellers throws himself into all of his characters, but he hates to do interviews. He hates to talk to people as Peter Sellers.
Yeah.
And that's basically, I think, based on.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So good.
Well, there's that famous line, and I don't know if he said it before, but on the Muppet Show, I remember Kermit was interviewing him, and he was telling, "Yeah, you do all these crazy characters, but who's the real Peter Sellers?" And Sellers says, "Well, there used to be a real me, but I had him surgically removed."
Yeah, he said there is no me.
I'm a very big Kurt Vonnegut fan also. Like, I'm not a big reader, and I've never been a big reader as far as novels are concerned, or short stories or whatever. But I just love Vonnegut's work. So it was definitely a gem. I was
actually in a play production of that. I was the narrator.
Oh yes,
ironically,
it is a play. Right?
But we adapted it and did it in chamber theater style, and it was a delightful production to be a part of.
Oh, it was. I loved it.
And again, I had seen that movie when it first came out in '82. The stage production was just about 2 years after that, actually.
Yeah. I couldn't believe I found it. It is seriously such a gem.
It is.
So the other honorable mention that I have is Nona's from 2025. And this movie is a Vince Vaughn movie. And it is based on a real Staten Island restaurant, where the owner of the restaurant, in the movie, the owner of the restaurant, he loses his parents, he loses his mom and his grandmother, and doesn't have access to their delicious cooking anymore. And this is, but I know there are certain traditions, certain religions, certain ethnicities where the food is the most important thing. And of
Right.
course,
Oh, yeah.
being Jewish, food is everything. So
Mhm.
what he does is he opens a restaurant in Staten Island near the Italian market, and he hires people's grandmothers so that they can make these traditional meals that nobody else remembers how to make.
Ah,
And
wow.
this
Cool.
is actually for real. There
Mhm.
is an Teca Maria's restaurant in Staten Island, and it has grown. And instead of just having Italian grandmothers now, he has hired a number of different grandmothers who cook all kinds of things. And the movie is just a beautiful movie about the power of family and traditions, and of course cooking. And it I think it was very worth seeing. Susan Sarandon's character is also very fun to watch because she's one of the youngest grandmothers, and she cooks, but she also is a cosmetologist, I think would be the appropriate word for it. So
Mhm.
one night she gives all of the other women like a makeover, so they all feel really special. And it's just, again, it's just the power of what people can do. And I think that it is very, very appropriate for 2025, where, you know, we're having all of these conflicts in the world and people are not really sure how to feel. You know, this was very, very homey, very feel good, beautiful movie about, you know, appreciating who you are and what traditions you come from. And I highly recommend it.
Nice. Okay. Rory, what's your top or your honorable mentions?
Okay. Yeah, we talked about The Tempest. We talked about Thelma and Louise. We talked about Bull Durham and Enchanted, Dead Man Walking, The Hunger, Joe. Okay, well, that brings me to my dishonorable mention list.
Okay.
These are the stinkers that Sarandon signed up for. I guess she felt it was going to be a better, but you know, in some cases you're like, why is she in this? The Great Waldo Pepper, or what I like to call the not so great Waldo Pepper. She does. It's more than a cameo, but oh my God, what happens to her in that film is terrible. And I'm not going to say. It's not one of your better Robert Redford films. It's kind of depressing.
Mhm.
The Great Smoky Mountain Roadblock was an attempt to cash in on Smokey and the Bandit, but with John Saxon, and you know, and again, she kind of plays a madam in it, a prostitute with a heart of gold kind of thing, and it's just like, why are you in this? Must have been good money. And The January Man with Kevin Kline. I love my calendar girl. This is so formula serial killer film, and it's a dud. I mean, it's the serial killer films at that time. I mean, there was a lot of them.
When
You
was
know.
this? Do you have a year?
It's like 88 or somewhere in the
Oh.
mid 80s, I think.
Yeah, there were a whole bunch.
Give me a second. I'll pull it up. January 89.
89.
So again, we'd had Copycat with Sigourney Weaver and Denzel, the one that we talked about a few weeks ago. Bone Collector.
Shoot.
And again, at the end, it's just like the killer is just like nobody.
Harry Connick Jr. Even Harry Connick Jr.
Yeah. Copycat was Harry Connick Jr.
Oh, it was so bad.
Yeah. So again, they didn't know how to do a reveal at the end of these movies well. And as a result, all of the serial killers, or maybe it's a choice, you know, maybe it's that we don't want to glamorize this kind of life or this kind of thing. So maybe it was a choice. But anyway, again, he's a nobody, and you're like, really? That's it? Wah, 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 wah. And Sarandon's character in it, I'm not even sure why she's there.
Well,
You
I kind
know?
of feel bad for Kevin Kline too. He could have done something better at that point also.
Yeah.
You got to
like
remember this.
Wild Wild
This
West.
This was just before Wild Wild West, and that was pretty much
Oh.
almost the nail in the coffin. He
Yeah.
was kind of on the downslide. I think he
Oh,
had already
poor
done
Kevin
French Kiss,
Kline.
which was good, which was a cute
I liked
movie.
him in the 80s.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, he's great in Fish Called Wanda. He's
Yeah.
wonderful in The Big Chill.
Mhm.
I'm one of the few people that really like Silverado, the Western, the nod to Westerns.
Yeah.
You
me
know,
too.
I thought it was a great movie, and it got panned.
Yeah.
But anyway, there it is. So yeah, January Man was a dud.
Okay. All right. Well, we already
But
talked
Neil
about a lot of
Sedaka
my.
got credit, but
Yeah. Uh, so my honorable mentions,
Mhm.
we talked a lot about them already. Witches of Eastwick, of course.
Mhm.
The only reason it didn't make my top 5 was because it was such an ensemble movie.
Mhm.
But Sarandon, yeah, her arc in that was terrific. But it's really, I think I said this, it's Jack Nicholson's movie
Mhm.
for the most part. Pretty Baby, which it it hasn't aged well,
I chose
unfortunately.
not to see that one.
It's a good movie.
That's why I saw
Uh,
Atlantic City, because
legal
I
child
read
porn.
something. I
well,
read
yeah.
that Pretty Baby was a creeper.
Well, I no. See, I think people, because of the subject matter, because they're talking about prostitution,
Yeah.
and
Underage
Brooke
prostitution.
Shields
Very
and
young. Yeah.
underage and all that, but they're missing the
Brooke
historical
Shields, right?
context.
A very young
Yeah,
Brooke Shields.
yeah, but they're missing the historical context of it. I
Oh,
mean, it's
okay.
based on a true story, and it's based on actual uh, life in New Orleans in the 19 teens.
Oh, okay.
That stuff
Well,
went
that's
on.
good to know.
So and I think the a lot of the publicity just to kind of get people in the theater made it a lot more salacious than it actually
Mhm.
was. I mean, it's really very tame by today's standards. I mean, I can see why people thought it was. Oh,
I'm glad we
it's
had this conversation, because I think that these are important
yeah,
conversations
and
to
it's beautiful.
have.
And again, it's one of the it's beautifully shot. And it's another Louis Malle movie or Mal movie.
The director of
Uh,
Atlantic
director
City.
of it,
I always thought
yeah.
it was Malay. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think it's Mal because it's French.
like Darth
And
Maul.
yeah, even though it's spelled Malle.
Yeah, it's spelled differently.
Yeah, because the French they don't know how to spell. Uh, so
You would
it's
say
like
the
those.
same about you.
Dead Man Walking, again, a
Mhm.
good movie. Lorenzo's Oil, based on a true story.
Didn't get to see that one.
Good movie. Again, bit of a tearjerker, but Sarandon is excellent in that. Enchanted, we talked about that. And a movie we did not talk about, and I almost hesitate to mention this movie because it's not a huge role for Sarandon, but I really enjoy this movie, and that's Speed Racer, based based on the
Racer.
based on the anime. John Goodman's in it. I think it's Thomas Keach plays Speed Racer. Yeah, it's silly. Yeah, it's the Wachowskis doing anime. It bombed horribly at the theater, but I love it. To me, I
She was
got the
Speed
point.
Racer's mom, right?
And Susan Sarandon plays Speed Racer's mom. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, it's not a huge role, and certainly not one of her best roles. But I just love this movie, and I had to mention it because I wasn't sure if anybody else was going to mention it. So anyway, so that's my top five, or my bottom five, if you will.
Your
My
honorable mentions.
My honorable mentions. Yeah. So.
All right.
All right. Well, there
On
we
that
go.
note,
On that note,
We were going to give a little
unfortunately-
shout out to Rob Reiner.
yeah, unfortunately, this week, right? We
A
lost
week ago, yeah.
a week ago, yeah.
a week ago. We lost a very prominent and well-respected and important director, Rob Reiner, who's done a lot of work. I know that he started his career at as Meathead in All in the Family.
Oh,
And
geez. Oh, do you
I
have to
hated
bring
that
that up,
show
Anna?
when I was young. I hated that show, but as an adult, I've seen it, and it's actually an amazing show.
Mhm.
He's a very talented actor. He's made cameos in a lot of his movies. He's worked with an endless list of actresses. When I say my favorite film,
actors.
he's worked. I'm sorry, actors and actresses. He's also worked with amazing writers. So I'm just gonna go into my favorite movie of his, if that's okay.
Please.
So the writer on this film is Nora Ephron, who is an amazing, amazing writer. And my favorite, I mean, how can you pick a favorite of Rob Reiner's movies? Really, it's just an amazing collection of movies that have had such an impact. And especially, for somebody my age who has grown up with his movies. But my very favorite movie I will never forget is when I was 15, I saw When Harry Met Sally. And it completely changed how I thought about so many different things. It's Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal, among other people, star in this movie. It is said to be one of the best romance movies, and honestly, it is not only my favorite Rob Reiner film, it is my top 5 of all time films. And it's basically about how two people who in the beginning hate each other, grow over time, and seeing each other sporadically, how they fall in love. And it's beautiful. And everybody's going to know the scene in the deli where she fakes an orgasm, but it has so many scenes and so many phrases and sentences, and it's just.
And
My
Reiner's
life would
mother is the
not
one that
be the
delivers the killer line in that scene where she goes, "I'll have what she's having."
She's having.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was his mom.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it's that movie. That is one of the movies that is everything to me. So
It is a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Manny,
Rory,
about the
what's
two
your
of you?
favorite?
Mine?
Yeah,
I kept bouncing between two.
same here.
But-
That's why I asked you if you'd give me yours first, because I bet you it's the same two I'm thinking of. So we can
But
each give
mine,
it.
I have to go with Reiner's first movie. This is Spinal Tap.
I
a
thought
direct-
that's what you were going to go with.
Mhm.
The other one was Princess Bride.
That's the
But-
one that I'm going to talk about. So go ahead and talk about how influential the first one
Yeah,
is.
tell us what
Well-
a mockumentary is.
This is Spinal Tap is, I think, widely considered as the first mockumentary.
Yeah.
In other words, it's a documentary about a fictional subject. In this case, a heavy metal band named Spinal Tap, with some of the best comedians ever assembled. and it is a tour de
Christopher
force.
Guest, Michael McKean, Harry Shearer. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And they are Spinal Tap with a rotating band of drummers who keep
Drummers.
flying.
Always implode.
But it also has cameos from, oh my gosh, a whole host of people. Billy Crystal's in this in a very
Yes.
brief scene.
Dana Carvey.
Patrick McNee has a cameo.
Fred Willard.
Fran Drescher, Fred Willard. Just, pretty much everybody.
Movie.
It's a brilliant movie.
Brilliant.
And
Yeah.
really, it spoofs all the documentary tropes. It spoofs just the excesses of heavy metal at the time, the glam metal, and some of those silly tropes of theirs. But it's all good natured, and of course, it gave us the classic line, "It goes to 11." Which is brilliant, and you can't dust for vomit, which is one of my favorite lines.
And we never
Yeah,
had
fingerprint
something
vomit.
like this before.
Exactly, we
Like,
never-
that's what's
well,
amazing.
Well, to be fair, Woody Allen did have kind of a mockumentary type movie with Take the Money and Run, but Reiner perfected the formula, and of course it's been done since, or others have picked up on that. There's been other mockumentaries since that. Christopher Guest certainly went on to make a
Yes.
career of making them
Brilliant
as
film.
well.
Love
Brilliantly.
Mighty Wind. First in Show. Yeah.
it. Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah. Mighty Wind. Yeah. So yeah. So that's my Rob Reiner, my number one, if you will.
Definitely influential. I've been watching and reading a lot of people's tributes to him, and it's definitely, that film has been definitely very influential in people's lives.
Oh, yeah.
More inspirational is The Princess Bride, which is his homage to storytelling. The original story was written by screenwriter William Goldman as a book,
Right.
and then turned into a screenplay by Rob Reiner, and he directed it, and has a delightful, wonderful cast, including Andre the Giant as the Giant.
Mhm.
Why Sean is Fidini? It's inconceivable. And just a delightful cast. Mandy Patinkin,
Mandy Patinkin,
Um,
Carrie Elways.
Wilson.
Carrie
Robin
Elways,
Hugh.
Robin Wright. Christopher Guest plays one of the villains, the man with 6 fingers.
Billy Crystal and
Billy Crystal and
Carol
Carol Kane.
Carol Kane. Yes.
Magic Max and his wife. And
Have fun storming the castle.
it'll be a miracle.
It'll be America.
This,
Oh, and Christopher.
this film is going to be quoted.
Oh yeah. Oh
forever.
gosh. And Christopher.
I know, it's right on the tip of my tongue.
He was the vampire in
Right.
in Fright Night. Yeah.
Chris
Sarandon.
Chris Sarandon.
Oh, yeah, who's no relationship to Susan Sarandon. By the way.
It was her husband, her early husband from the 60s and
Really?
early 70s. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I found that out this week.
Interesting.
So that's where she got her name from. Being married to Chris Sarandon from 67 to like 74, 76.
Oh.
Yeah. Prince Humperdinck. Wonderful movie. Delightful.
Humperdinck.
Fred Savage and Peter Falk as the grandpa. Just reading him the good parts. It's just delightful, and again, inspirational, and everybody gets a good feeling watching that movie. You can watch it.
Is this a kissing book?
I don't know. Do people still quote it? I mean, when I was in
Oh,
college,
yeah.
we quoted it
All the
nonstop.
time.
Oh yeah,
Especially the line about Inigo Montoya.
Oh, yeah. You killed me.
prepare to die. You kill my father.
And-
Prepare to die.
Well, I'm always quoting that word. You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
As you wish.
Yeah. I finally got around to reading the book, and it surprised me how faithful Reiner made it to the book. And adding the wraparound story with Peter Falk and Fred Savage just added an extra layer
Right.
of just goodness to it, because the book itself is The Princess Bride. It's what the movie's about.
Yeah.
Well,
But
that's
to
how
get into
Reiner got
that,
around, not making the 3-hour movie. Just
yeah,
doing
yeah.
doing it in that way.
Oh
So it's
yeah,
very
yeah. There was a lot that was left out, but for the most part, I mean, he hit pretty much the main elements of the movie. So great, yeah. All right.
So next time.
Next time, in a couple of weeks, it'll be the new year, and we're starting off with a incredible director. We haven't done a director in a while, and we haven't done a foreign director in a while, and so we're starting with Swedish director Ingmar Bergman.
Yay.
Finally going to do it. And
Yay.
I've been wanting to do Bergman for a while. So
Me too.
All right.
so get ready for depression.
Depression.
Not going to be a happy ending.
There might be a few happy endings. We don't know.
Rory, how do you feel about Bergman? Is he depressing?
No, I enjoy Bergman.
No, I'm just talking about the Seventh Seal.
Yeah, the Seventh Seal is definitely pretty dark.
It's kind of a depressing ending.
Yeah. But yeah. So that's who we're tackling next time. And so until then, as of this filming, it is a few days before Christmas. So if you celebrate, Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa rather. To all my pagan friends, Merry Yule. And to everybody else, Happy Winter Solstice.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Whatever holiday you follow.
Exactly.
Yes.
And our best for the new year. And we'll see you in the new year. So until then,
Oh, yes.
keep watching movies.
Thank you for watching this episode of Two Guys and a Gal Talking About Movies. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell.